Hi guys, I'm back. I've decided to return. Um, not under a new name. I will be still doing Southampton content, being a Southampton fan, of course. But I want to kind of switch it up a little bit. I want to go, content on every single Premier League club and not just Southampton, because eventually it'll start getting a bit boring. Um, and I think my first video back is going to be discussing the three newly Premier League clubs that have obviously just been promoted to the Premier League, that being Leeds United, West Brom, and oh god, mind blank, West Brom and Fulham. And discussing how well I think they're going to do. Some of the players that they've been linked with and also signed already. Um, so yeah, let's get straight into it. I'm going to start off with Leeds, the team that have not been in the Premier League for a while but have now returned. You could say, judging by their fan base, the stadium that they have at Ellen Road, um, also they've got a really good manager in Bielsa. That they should be in the Premier League. They are a Premier League club, 100%. They have been struggling over the years, but they have now managed to return to the Premier League. They missed out last year. They kind of fluffed it up near the end of the season, and obviously Sheffield United took their place, and then they kind of went a bit skew-wally in the playoffs. But it's good to see Leeds back in the Premier League. I think people see Leeds as like Marmite. Some people like Leeds, some people don't. For me personally, I haven't got a problem with Leeds. The fans can be a bit, a bit snobby sometimes. Let's just say that to say the least. But as a club, they are a very good club. We know that Leeds have very good support away and at home. Quite loud. I think they'll survive. I think they'll survive quite comfortably, actually. I'm going to say mid-table. I don't want to be too ambitious. I know a lot of people are saying that Leeds could even get Europa League. I think that's too ambitious for a newly promoted club, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, I think they'll be comfortable. I think they will sign some more players. They are linked with some massive players for a newly promoted club, like Rodrigo from I can't remember if it's for Valencia or Villarreal. Brilliant striker, around £30 million. I think I think the latest news is that they've actually agreed a fee for around that price. So if that's true, then hats off to Leeds for signing a player of that magnitude. Next up, we're going to be talking about West Brom. Well, West Brom are a team that a lot of fans dislike the way of playing when they were in the Premier League. They're very defensive, bit boring, but I think that's about to change. I think we're going to see a newly formed West Brom in the Premier League. They signed the likes of Piero, who they had on loan last season, who is a very creative. I think he's a winger slash midfielder. I do think we'll see a lot more attacking influence throughout the West Brom team this season than obviously the previous seasons what they've been in the Premier League, where it's been a bit boring. Very very defensive. When you got West Brom, you're like, oh yeah, it's going to be a good game. It's just not. It's a very boring game to watch for neutrals. But I do think that's going to change under their manager. I do think we're going to see a newly formed West Brom, like I said. Do I think they're going to stay up? I'm not too sure. And the reason I'm saying this is I think the defence is a key aspect of why I'm saying this. They've got Sami Ajay, who used to play for Rotherham United. Can he step up to the Prem? He's never played in the Premier League. He's going to have to. They've got Hagazi, who's obviously played in the Premier League, was quite good in the Premier League with West Brom, if I remember rightly as well. So he's all right. And then they are linked with a Wigan centre back in Cedric Kipri. Um, he was due to go to Blackburn Rovers. That's right to think then. Blackburn Rovers for under £1 million, I think it was, which is cheap as chips. But then West Brom kind of came in with a last ditch bid, I believe, and it looks like he's now going to sign for West Brom. I don't watch too much Championship football myself, but from what I've heard, he is a very good defender and very capable of stepping up to the Prem. So it'd be one to watch. But no, I don't know. West Brom, I think with West Brom, it depends on who they bring in. They've not really signed anyone um, that's going to set the world alight as such. Piero was on loan last season. He's never played in the Prem. Can he step up? He's got the the ability to do that. Yeah, 100%. He's got the ability to step up to the Premier League, but can he show that on a consistent basis? And that is what he's going to have to do. Obviously to keep West Brom in the Premier League. So yeah, that's my verdict on West Brom. Last but not least is Fulham. Now Fulham, when they came up, was it last season? I don't know. I think we all know why they went down, and it was defence. They never signed a defender. You know, they had the opportunity in the transfer window to bring a defender, and they never did it. And we all know for a fact that that's what sent them down. So they're still probably going to need a defender, to be honest. I think they'll do that this time. I don't think they're going to play silly as such this time. I do think they're going to want to stay in the Premier League. So they will take it a little bit more seriously when it comes to dipping into the transfer window. I'm not too sure on who they're linked with as such. Actually, yes, I am. Bizarrely, being a Southampton fan, they are linked with Harrison Reed, who was on loan with them last season and played brilliant, apparently, according to lots of Fulham fans. And they're also linked with Mario Lemina, who's obviously a midfielder for us. They'll be alright. So I think they'll be good signings. Harrison Reed was fantastic in the Championship. Very defensive minded. Can he step it up? Every time he's played for us in the Premier League, he's looked too lightweight. But I don't know. He's not played in the Premier League for years. He might prove us all wrong, and he might be the player that spark in midfield that Fulham need, defensive wise, of course. Mario Lemina, on the other hand, he has the ability to be a very, very good player. He's just got a very big ego, and he thinks he's better than he is. Currently, obviously, he is a good player. I'm not saying he's not, but I don't like players that have big egos and think they're better than the club that they're playing at. And I think that's I think that's my verdict on Mario Lemina. I think he thinks he's bigger than Southampton. So yeah, but no, Fulham, I think if they get that decisive defender, they could have a good season, especially with Mitrovic up top. You know, I think they're in for a good season, mid-table. I think realistically, all three teams that have came up have a very, very, very good chance of staying up if they bring in the right players. Only if they bring in the right players. I think if I have to say that one of them will go down, it'll be West Brom. That's my opinion on the three teams coming up. Sorry, it's been a bit of a long, dragged out video, and I keep pausing. I've not been on YouTube for a while, but I'm back now. I'm hoping to do more content, hopefully get back to how I used to be. But like I said, I will still be doing Southampton content, but I want to, vary it in as a whole Premier League content, not just strictly based on Southampton. The previews and reviews will still be going on, but it's time for a change. It's time to add more content, But yeah, it's good to be back. I hope everyone's okay, and take care, and I'll see you in the next video.